Hello, and welcome back to the Chris Macpherson Show Daily Dose. Time to talk some cricket again. And India didn't just win their T20 series, they exposed South Africa as a team that is still guessing and not planning. Now, look, that's not a knock on the talent. There is obviously talent there, but this series showed us some things pretty clearly. India looked like a side that are built to win tournaments, and South Africa still look like a side built to try and entertain in T20 cricket. The gap doesn't always matter in December, but with a T20 World Cup just around the corner in February, it absolutely matters now. If you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe and follow us along on the socials at the Chris Mack Show on all your favourite social media channels. But let's break down how we got here with this series, starting with this wild final night in Ahmedabad. Before we get into the decider, a quick context. This was meant to be a 5-match shootout of the T20 format. Instead, Game 4 was abandoned due to fog, which felt oddly fitting because for South Africa, parts of this series are still pretty foggy. India came in and they were settled and confident in this game. They were ruthless when momentum swung their way and took their chances. South Africa showed some flashes, real flashes in this series, but never quite sustained control. Which brings us to the fifth and final T20 International. The winner, well, they got a chance, India, to claim the series, South Africa to tie it all up. It was all on the line. India batted first, finished for 231 for 5. And on a decent batting wicket, that's a serious total. Even with Shubman Gill missing from action, India didn't miss a beat early. Sanju Samson and Abhishek Sharma flew out of the blocks, 63 inside the power play. Samson all timing, style and grace. Abhishek all intent, charging the first ball to set the tone. The innings slowed slightly through the middle. Samson got bogged down outside the power play. Suryakumar Yadav couldn't quite get rolling, and for a moment it felt like India might settle for somewhere closer to 200. Then Hardik Pandya walked in and flipped the game. 3 of his first 7 balls went for 4. Another 3 of them went for 6. He scored 31 off his first 7 deliveries and finished with 63 from 25. 5 fours, 5 sixes. This wasn't reckless. It was controlled violence. At the other end, Tilak Varma playing the perfect foil. Calm, composed, and absolutely nailing down his claim, as we discussed earlier in the series, as India's long-term number 3 in this format. His 73 off 42 was balanced, mature, and exactly what India needed in that role alongside the likes of Pandya. Together, Pandya and Varma added 105 runs in just 7 overs, turning a good score into a match-defining one. That partnership alone, quite possibly, was the sealer for the series. South Africa didn't go quietly far from it. Quinton de Kock playing his 100th T20 International was outstanding. DeWalt Brevis' cameo was fearless. At drinks, they were 118 for 1, and with dew on the crowd tense, the game was on. But this is where defending in India usually becomes brutal and where experience matters. However, Jasprit Bumrah enters the scene and breaks the game open. De Kock gone, momentum shifts. Hardik then comes on to bowl cleverly to remove Brevis. Then Varun Chakravarthi does exactly what mystery spinners like he do best, create chaos. Markram and Ferreira wickets in clusters. South Africa losing 4 for 15, and they're suddenly chasing the game, not the target. Marco Jansen comes out and throws one last punch. And to be fair, he's been one of their best all tour. But Bumrah had overs in hand. He steps in, he steps up, he seals it. India win by 30. Series is done. The takeaways for India, well, this side looks ready. Tilak Varma, as I said, has locked in that number 3 spot. Hardik Pandya is the key cog. Bat, ball, leadership, balance. He's the triple threat. He's got it all. Jasprit Bumrah remains the biggest difference maker in world cricket. Whether it's at the top or as a death bowler, he can do it all. Varun Chakravarthi gives them middle over control when games threaten to run away with his mystery spin. And this makes it 10 straight T20 International Series wins. Different conditions, different opponents, different countries. India aren't just winning, they're refining what they do. South Africa, look, let's be honest, the talent is undeniable in this squad. There's some real names that can be stars and are stars. Quinton de Kock, DeWalt Brevis, Aiden Markram. But their order isn't settled. The pieces around those 3, not quite sure where they fit, and we're not sure where those 3 fit. Their roles aren't locked in, and right now it feels like they're still figuring out who fits where, rather than everyone owning a role and doing their job. That certainly doesn't mean they can't peak at the right time, but it does mean the margin for error is thin. So if we take a breath, this was a series full of promise for both sides. India leave it looking organised, confident, and very clear on who they are. South Africa leave it knowing the ceiling is high, but whether or not they can reach it, that's another question. Their clarity still needs work. There's time as we head to the T20 World Cup, but it's getting shorter and shorter. As we edge closer to February, the teams with answers usually outlast the teams still asking questions. And that wraps the South Africa tour in India for the T20 series. India take it 3-1. If you enjoyed this Daily Dose, hit subscribe. Follow us along at The Chris Mack Show on your social media channels, X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And we'll be back soon, breaking it all down again. If you need another cricket dose, don't wait too long. We'll be breaking down day 4 of the Ashes later on today. Big thank you for tuning in to your Daily Dose on The Chris Macpherson Show, your home of the black and white of sports. No greys.